Hello and thanks again for joining me for another Starfield video, where today we're going to be acquiring a ship which we're then going to be upgrading into this little beastie here. So just quickly over the stats, got a 21 reactor, we've got room for 4 crew, the jump range is actually 27, but we can pop 1 skill point into a skill which is going to bring that up to 30. And I believe 30 is the maximum jump range you can have. Our shields are not 726. Our shields are 455. They're showing up at 728 because of a couple of points into the shield skill. I do not have missiles on this. I don't like missiles. I don't use them. Instead, I've got 3 particle beams here, and we've got these 2 auto cannons for our ballistics. We have a little bit of shielded capacity on the cargo. Now, this doesn't have a huge amount of cargo. You can put a bit more on it if you like. But I plan on using this ship in another video that I'm working on. And for the sake of that video, I want this ship to have the least amount of cargo on it. This shielded cargo comes with the ship that we capture that we're going to upgrade this to. So aside from our 4 crew, we can also fit 6 passengers on here, and we have inside, now this is a low level 10 build. I'll go through skills later on, but inside we have all of the workbenches that you need. Over here we have a bed, we have research station here, we've got a nav console, we've got a galley. Through here we have another galley, we have our pharmaceutical lab, and we've got another research lab. Through this side over here we have our spacesuit workbench, we've got our weapons workbench, and our industrial workbench. So we've got all the bare necessities. Okay. Everything that you really need. Now, I don't even need the 4 crew capacity at the moment. I've only got Sarah and Vasco at this stage. As I said, just level 10. Barely started the game on this particular save. But now I'm going to load up my previous save. For before we captured this ship and before we upgraded it. I'm going to take you step by step through a method of obtaining the ship that we want. It's going to be a bit of randomness to it, but I'll try and help you through that. I'm going to take you step by step through upgrading it, and also going to show you where and how you can sell some contraband without getting scanned. Now, I'm currently on the Econo Hall. I did a separate video showing you how you can get your hands on this at level 5. You don't need this, but I do recommend switching into whichever ship you have that has the highest cargo capacity and the highest passenger capacity. This is going to make this a little bit easier for you. So we're in New Atlantis and we are after a certain ship. Now, the easiest way to get your hands on this ship is by getting a bounty mission to go after that ship. So we're going to be using these mission boards. So these ones here. Now, you don't need to use the New Atlantis one. I've done a separate video showing you where all the other mission boards are. These are non-faction mission boards in all the other cities. Alternatively, if you've joined the Freestar Rangers, you can use their mission board as well. That will also give you a chance at finding the ship that we want. But before we do anything, we are going to go into settings. We're going to go to gameplay. You want to crank this up to very hard. We want to make sure save on weight is turned on, And by default, this is going to be set to 10 minutes. You want to make sure that that's disabled because we're going to be relying on an autosave that happens here. And when you go into your menu to reload that autosave, that can trigger this autosave to overwrite that, and then that'll muck things up. So you don't want that. So once you've done that, tab out of there, and we're going to go to these mission boards. Now, this is the mission that we're looking for. It's not going to show up for you straight away like this though. Okay. This is the most important part. Crimson Fleet Phantom Mark II. Okay, there'll be a normal Phantom and a Phantom 2. But there's going to be a bunch of other ships like Ghost, Spectres, etc, etc, etc. We're specifically after this Phantom 2. And chances are it's not going to show up straight away. So I'm going to accept that because that is the mission that we want. But in your case, if that is not there, you're going to accept as many of these missions as you are able to. As long as you've got cargo space, passenger space. Alright, now we're going to have another look in there. And we'll see that it's now empty. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is to clear out those missions. There's two ways to do that. One way is to actually go and do the missions. And some of these delivery ones are really easy, pretty quick, especially if you've done a few and you're taking them back to places you've already been. Good way to get some experience and some cash. But in this instance, we're going to do it the lazy way. We're going to hit X to reject it and hit E to confirm. Same with that one. Okay, I'm going to keep that one because that is the one that we want. And now we're going to back out of there. Okay, back out of there. And now that mission board is still going to be blank. We're going to take a seat. And we are going to hit B. And we are going to wait for 24 local hours. And at the end of this wait cycle, the game is going to do an autosave. And that's the important part. So that is going to stop you from having to keep on accepting all the missions and doing this 24-hour wait again. But I do recommend doing some of the other bounty missions, and doing some of the other delivery missions. You know, it is worth it. You will make a fair bit of cash. You will get some experience doing it. But as you'll see in a moment, we're coming towards the end of the wait cycle. Up in the top right-hand corner of the screen, about now, it's auto-saving. Alright, so we're going to get up. And now we're going to check the mission board. And now these missions are reset. We don't have any that are destroy. So when it says kill, that is boots on the ground. You're going to have to go and kill ground forces, go in and clear out someplace. Deliver is cargo. Okay. These require you to do base building, and you'll also have transport, and transport is passengers. So we're just going to exit out of there, and we are going to load up that most recent autosave. And that's going to put us back on the bench, and those missions will be reset. So that's going to make it a lot easier than, see, we're back on the bench. It's going to make it a lot easier than accepting all the missions and clearing them out again and waiting. Just reload the autosave. Go back in here. Okay, now we've got destroy the Crimson Fleet Haunt. Still not the one that we want. You want the Phantom 2. Now I'm not going to keep doing this because I've already got mine. But you are going to want to continue doing that until you actually get it. It might take you 2 or 3 goes. It might take you 10 or 12 or more. It's going to be random. It's going to depend on your level. It's going to depend maybe on how many other bounty missions that you have done. But eventually it will show up. So from here, you might want to go back in to your settings and pop that back down to normal. Now we're going to hit L, we're going to hit R, and we're going to go to the mission. Now it's going to be pot luck of whether this enemy is going to be by himself or whether he's going to have friends with him. So we're in the system. Now we're going to hit R again and travel over there. Now just quickly, if I didn't mention before, skills, you do want at least 1 point. Now I have got 2. You need at least 1 point in targeting because we want to be able to, we don't want to destroy the ship, we want to take it down, and for that we want to target their engines so that we can capture it. I do have 2, it's going to make it easier, but you really only need 1. I also have 2 points in shields. Not necessary, but that is also going to make this easier. You don't need security. I do have level 1 piloting. I don't believe that's necessary. And I don't have any skills over in any of these. That's all the skills that I've had. And I do have 5 points down here ready to spend, which we'll do in a moment. So, we are going to lock onto this guy. And we're going to make sure that we're targeting his engines. I want to do the least amount of damage to this as I can. I only want to damage the engines. And the ship that I'm in does not have very good mobility. Alright, so we're on his engines. Take that down. And I accidentally hit his grav drive. I didn't really want to do that. Now we can dock. Okay. Now, once we're docked, we're going to board. And I don't have very much ammo. And I don't have very good weapons. There should only be 2 people here to take care of. That's 1. Okay. Alrighty. So, let's have a look around. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check for contraband. Sometimes there'll be some sitting up here. Sometimes there's going to be some sitting there, which there is. Sometimes there might be some over there. I haven't seen much over here very often. Sometimes there's going to be some down on the floor down here. And sometimes also the one that's up here gets knocked off and it might be down on the floor somewhere around here. Now, you're not always going to get more than 1 piece of contraband. Sometimes there may only be 1 on the ship. Sometimes you might get 3 or 4. But you don't want to check. Sometimes there's some here. There is none there at the moment. Sometimes there'll be some on this table. There's not. I will take that tea. Alrighty. Now it does look like we're not going to get any more. Now the reason that you do want to check though, have a thorough check for contraband. Because the last thing you want to do is not realise that you've got any contraband and go into a system where you're going to get scanned with it. Alright, looks like we're clear. Take those credits. Alrighty. Nothing interesting in there. So we're going to take a seat in the pilot seat. And we are going to hit tab. And I'm just going to clear that. I don't know why that keeps coming up, but it keeps interrupting me. All right. Now, this says that it's class 20 reactor. Once we land, that should go up to 28. I think it might be based on the damage that we've done to the ship. But once we land, that should go up to 21. That is the base 27. That is the base shield. This is the base crew capacity. Comes with the 190 shielded capacity. Okay, we're going to make this our home ship. And we are going to register it for about 10k, just over 10k. We are going to do repairs. Do have the ship parts on us. Alright. Now we're going to back out. And let's have a look here. Yeah. I did do some damage to the grav drive. So I'm going to pump some power into engines to get them started on fixing. I'm going to pump some into the grav drive. Alright. It should be enough to get us going. We're going to hit M. We may as well scan this planet because we're here. Going to go out to the universe map and we're going to look for this system here called Wolf, which is not going to have this little icon above it unless you've actually been there, but you're going to find it across from Sol, down from Narion, up from Alpha Centauri. Now, if your path takes you through one of these main places, then you may want to manually choose a different route and go to like a different star that's sort of close by. If you don't have the range, and it's going to make you stop sort of in one of them systems, because those systems, they are going to scan you. But we've got a clean jump, so that's where you're going to want to go. If you haven't been here before, it's probably going to pop you in over this side, and over here you're going to find the den. This is a star station, and you just want to cruise over to that. So we're going to head over there now. Now we've got some engines back, which is good. Okay, so once we get in here, there's the station. We're going to want to hit E, and we're going to want to cruise over there. Our engines are still repairing, so it's going to be a little bit slow, but once we get close enough, we're going to have the option to hold down R to dock. And in this system, we're not going to get scanned contraband. And on this station, we can sell the contraband. And sometimes you're only going to find one piece of contraband. Sometimes you'll find 3 or 4. It's just going to be pure pot luck. But we're going to board the station.
That was a pleasant change of scenery.
Okay, so if we go straight ahead and we go up to the left and around this corner, there's going to be this guy here. Sometimes he's going to be standing way over there, and you're going to have to get around Sarah and come in here to actually reach him. But this guy here from the Trade Authority, he has a fair bit of cash. Does have a decent amount of cash. He will buy our contraband. You know, I didn't only got one piece that time. Sometimes you get quite a fair bit. What else have we got here? Yeah, I might keep that. Okay. What else? That's fine. Resources, don't need that. Sell from ship inventory, don't need that or that. That's fine. So he does have a fair bit of cash, and if he runs out of cash, there is also a trade kiosk over here. Okay. But now we're going to hit P. All right. So let's have a look now. We have a look at this now. We haven't done anything. The reactor's gone up to 21. All we've done is landed on the station. Okay. So, going to go into our skills now. This is not necessary. We don't need Starship design for this build. But if you're going to spend points, if you're going to spend money on ship parts, they're quite expensive. You may as well have those points going into this. And for that, I need to spend one more point. I'm going to put that into payloads. And I am going to be doing another video about an easy way to max out your payloads. But that now lets me unlock this one. So I'll pop a point in there. Now, if we back out here, once again, we have a look at the ship. Okay, so that puts the cargo up a little bit. Now here we've got our 27 jump range. Okay, so if we come across to science, we put a point in there. Back out of there. And now we have our 30 jump range. Alright, so let's now go into the ship builder. Alright. B for ship builder. Alright, we're going to drag the cockpit along here. I'm going to get rid of that laser because I don't like it. I'm going to take this cowling off and I'm just going to hit delete on that. I'm going to take this cowling off. I'm going to take off this autocannon here and I'm going to pop that on the bottom of the cockpit there. And I'm going to get rid of this cowling. We have a cowling here and I'm going to get rid of the missiles. That's up to you. If you want to keep the missiles, keep the missiles. I'm going to put this up on top of the cockpit. So we've got two of them autocannons there. Now I'm going to sell that cowling. Okay. This hab I'm going to get rid of. This landing gear we'll put over there for the time being. This landing bay I'm going to get rid of. Now, that fuel tank also only holds 50 fuel. Need better than that. Alright, so now we're going to hit G. We are going to tab across to HABs. Or T and Q across to HABs rather. And I'm going to take the Nova Galactic all-in-one berth. We're going to pop that here. Now, let me show you something that I never realized before. If we have a look at the Deimos. Now, all the berths, doesn't matter which, a berth on a ship of any kind is always a sleeping area. So naturally, all the berths of all brands, Deimos, Stroud, whatever, they're all going to have passenger slots. The Armory does not. Captain's quarters, it has a bed, but it does not have passenger slots. Computer core has crew stations. Control station has crew stations. Infirmary does not have any stations for passengers or crew. Living quarters naturally is going to have 2 passenger slots. Science lab has 0 slots for anybody. workshop has 0 slots for anybody, and the armory has 0 slots for anybody. Now, we look at the Nova Galactic, and we go to the armory. Okay, that has 2 slots for passengers. The infirmary does not. Okay, but the science lab does. So we're going to pop the science lab on. So now we've got 2 passenger spaces, and we've got our science workbench and our bed and our galley. Now we're going to give ourselves a bit of space down here and hit G, and now we're going to get the workshop. And that has 2 passenger slots. So now we've got space for 6 passenger slots. We've got all of our workbenches. All right. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, while I'm hovering over it, I'm going to space. Now I'm going to hit Z or Z twice so that it's vertical, and I'm going to sit it there. This, we'll double click on that and we'll drag that across to there. We're going to grab that and we're going to drag that in there, but we're going to hit F and bring it down. I'm going to bring that across, pop that up on top, drag that to the side, that to the side. I'm going to drag this up here, this up here. And we're going to take this now while we're dragging this. Okay, if I just have it leaving there, watch down here. When I'm dragging it, we have the ability to go through the arrows and change the variance. Okay, or you can hover it over it, hit space, and then you can change the variance. So that was the one that it was on. I'm going to move it to that one. Pop that under there. And now we need a landing bay. So we're going to hit G. We're going to go to bays. And we're going to choose this one. Now this one has one less mass than the other one, but even better, it also has attachment spots for weapons underneath it. Alright, so over here, we're going to hit G. We're going to go across to fuel tanks, and we're going to put one of them. We're going to put another one, oops, on that attachment there. This one here. Okay. Over here, I'm going to hit G, and we're going to go to structural. I'm going to put one of these horizon weapon mounts. And on here, I'm going to hit G, and I'm going to put in a PB30. Then we're going to pop another PB30 on here. And I'm going to pop another one on here. All right. So there is the basis of our ship. So we do have an error. That is because we need to wait, let me unselect that. Press C for flight check. We need to assign our PB30. And the warning is because we don't have a third weapon. That's fine. We don't need to worry about that. All right. So we're going to exit out of that. We've now got our 5 unique pieces for our skill. So exit out of here. And we can grab our next Starship Design skill. We don't need it, but we may as well grab it if we can. Now, whenever you do any modifications involving your habs, all of the stuff that's laying around on the floor in the ship, anywhere in any of those habs, it's all going to get rounded up and it's all going to get shoved into the ship's cargo bay. So we're going to go into ship inventory, and you're going to find a bunch of stuff in the miscellaneous. Sometimes there might be digipicks. Other than that, most of this is useless. It's not worth a lot of money, but it all adds up. And it also all takes up cargo space. So we're going to get rid of all that. Don't want that. And also, if there was any contraband that you missed, then that should also show up as well. Okay. So, the next step, now, this is completely optional. At the moment, I only have Sarah and Vasco, so I don't need more than 2 crew. But if you want to up this to 4, then we are now going to zoom out to the universe map, and we're going to head up here to Narian. Alternatively, you can go to Neon. We're going to go to the Stroud-Eklund Star Yard here. So you can go to Neon instead. You can go to the landing pad technician at Neon, or you can go to the Stroud-Eklund showroom in the core. We're going to dock here. All of those places will give you Stroud parts. And we are going to board here. And we're going to come in here. And there'll be a ship technician. Sometimes he's sitting here. If he's not sitting here, he'll be in here. He'll either be sitting there or he'll be standing around here. Now, if you can't find him, sometimes he'll be stuck behind that chair and hidden behind that tree. So have a look there. He's going to want to have a yak first.
We may be new. Thank you.
Once he's finished talking, we can now view and modify our ships. Okay. Go into the ship builder. Rip that off. And we'll hit G here. And we're going to tab across to the cockpits. Now, as these get more expensive, they hold more cargo. They also have a bigger mass. But the cruise stations are the same. So it's up to you. You can take the one with the bigger cargo. You'll see that mobility does go down as you add more. For me personally, I'm going to choose this one purely because I want to use this in a video where I'm trying to have the minimal amount of cargo space available on this ship, but you might want to go the bigger one. So now we're going to grab this and we can press F to lower it down, pop that on the bottom there. We can grab this one and we can pop that on the bottom there. Now we can get rid of that. So now we have space for 4 crew, which at level 10 is not too bad. Alternatively, later on, though it is very expensive, it will cost you about, I think it's like just under 60 grand, 50k. If you go to the Deimos Star Yard, you can get a cockpit that holds 8. Or you can just add another hab that adds more, but you'll also need to add more weapons. So the way, if you don't know, the way that the crew slots work, you've got to have crew stations. So that's our 4 crew stations. But your shield and your weapons, they each have a 0.5 capacity. So for each crew station, you've got to make up equal amount in equipment. Your where's the reactor there is going to give you 1. Your engines are going to give you 0.25 each, so 2 engines is going to give you 0.5, and an extra weapon will make an extra one. So you can up that. You can put a bit more a bit more cargo on here if you like. But we're going to double click the cockpit and we're going to hit J. And give this bad boy a paint job. Go to color 2. I'm going to put a dark grey. Color 3, I'm just going to do white. Going to accept. Alright. And now I'm going to go into flight check. So that is just about the third weapon that we don't have. That's fine. Down here, we're going to go to rename ship. Rename and call it whatever you want. I'm calling this jumper. Now we can exit out of there. And there we go. So this is now ready. With a 4 crew capacity. A 30 jump range, which is the max you can get. This will take you anywhere in the known universe as long as you have opened up and explored the route to wherever you're going. So there we go. In my next video, I'm going to be going over how to max out your payload skill pretty easily. So this one here. But that is going to do it for this episode. So if you did enjoy this video, please leave me a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see more, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.